Hi, you're watching Investor Insights, and in this video I just want to talk about the Gold Coast. Now, you can probably hear it. There's construction everywhere. There's high-rises being erected left, right and centre. There's a light rail system being constructed at the moment, going to be finished next year. History will show that light rail systems don't work, but some suckers got to find out the hard way, just like the desalination plant in New South Wales. Anyway, but from what I gather, despite all this construction and all this frenzied activity around the place, it seems that oil is not that healthy in terms of the local economy. Because I think that there are more there are more empty shop spaces than there are businesses out there. Everywhere you go, there's for lease signs and shops that have been either closed down because they're being repossessed or in default on the rent or whatever. But it seems that if you're one block away from Surfers Paradise, Cabo Avenue itself, your business doesn't stand a chance. The only exceptions to that are massage parlours and brothels, but I'm not going to get into that. The real estate itself is really overpriced. I made a video whilst out and about, and I just picked one example where something that was valued at about $500,000 was being rented out for $340 a week. Now, if you work that out in terms of a PE, it's about 28 times. Now, 28 times means your yield is what, about your gross yield will be about 3.5%, something like that. Forgive me if my maths is not too good this morning, I just woke up. But all is not rosy. I mean, if you sought one of these units in Surfers Paradise as an investment, just take your money and flush it down the toilet. Because if you've got a gross yield of 3% and expenses can be easily that, and then you've got acquisition costs, and then you've got maintenance costs. My neck's getting sore from shaking. Shaking my head. And don't forget that buildings depreciate. So I don't know how you're going to get any income from it. You're not going to get any capital gains from it. So why on earth would you invest up here in any one of these high-rise apartments? This is crazy. But ultimately, what's going to drive you away from these investments is inflation. I mean, even before you take into account the costs, the body corp or the strata, inflation is going to kill you. I mean, inflation is running at 5 or 10%, and yet your gross yield is 3% odd. As I said earlier, just take your money, flush it down the toilet or burn it. At least you're going to have the satisfaction of being able to say that you've done that. I went to Pacific Fair in Broadbeach. It's supposed to be the largest shopping centre in the Southern Hemisphere. This was a few years ago, but man, there's nobody in the car parks. Now, there is one thing that I have to tell you is that this is the winter season. So it is the off-season or the off-peak season. Staying up here in a hotel, cheap as chips. But the thing is, those businesses that are closed down are the biggest warning signs. The economy can't be too good. I don't care if it's the off season or the peak summer season. To see that many empty shop fronts, it's got to send a shiver down your spine. So I thank you for listening. It's just a little insight into the local economy up here in Surfers Paradise, and basically a warning for you to stay the hell away if you want to invest in high-rise real estate investments up here.